Domestic violence, it doesn't just go away because it's the holidays. Budgets are being taxed, parties with alcohol. And so here with ways we can all recognize the signs is Janiel Cortes Rubio, a family services coordinator with the YWCA of Palm Beach County. Janiel, nice to have you. Thank you so much. You know, this time of year, you actually see the statistics that domestic violence spikes, and yet calls to the hotline are actually usually down. Why is that?
Yeah, so basically the domestic violence abuser is pretty much turning into a different phase. You know, they're in a group setting now, they're around family and friends, and so they've decided to kind of put down those controlling tendencies.
Yeah. They're kind of on their best behavior.
Exactly.
Wow, okay. You might be out, you might see something, you might suspect something, and so there's certain red flags to watch out for, and if we can pull one of those up on our screen, the first one, you kind of went over it, is look for those controlling behaviors. Describe maybe in detail what we would see.
Yeah, so there's a lot of intimidation, there's manipulation that is involved, those subtle threats, you know, they're not going to go outright and act in a certain way in front of the family and friends.
Sure.
But they'll do those subtle threats. There'll be physical altercations that happen. And I would say that they just continue to try to use a sense of they have that control.
The power.
And the power.
Once they almost step away from the public eye, another red flag is that the victim almost has scripted excuses for why their abuser is acting the way they are.
Yeah, there's a lot of shame and there's a lot of guilt with being a victim. And so going outright and saying that there's abuse involved is very difficult for them.
Yeah.
And so they're going to use excuses like it's work, it's stress, there's other pressures in his life.
And it's telling that obviously this is not the first time that a behavior like this has happened. You mentioned asking the victim outright, are you being abused? You're probably not going to get an answer. So if you do maybe see something that raises your eyebrow, how do you approach the victim?
Yeah, so it's important to approach it with a concern of safety. If you're being genuine and authentic about their safety and saying things like, do you feel safe at home? Is it unsafe for you in any place? That's going to have a better effect than just saying, are you being abused? Is there abuse?
Okay, we have several resources throughout the community, including the Y. I know you all have a hotline.
Yes.
You man it all the time. We've got the YWCA's hotline number there on your screen. You can also call 211, which is a community resource, and then of course the National Domestic Violence Hotline. As you mentioned, Janiel, there's so much shame surrounding this, but there shouldn't be. All right, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.